The government of Rwanda has announced that due to Belgium's pitiful attempts to sustain its neo-colonial delusions, it has decided to sever diplomatic ties with the Belgian country. Adam Squizera has more on this.
The announcement made by the government of Rwanda to sever diplomatic ties with Belgium came after an interaction the head of state had with citizens, in which he highlighted Belgium's role in Rwanda's tragic history. Belgium destroyed Rwanda and killed the Rwandans. And this history goes beyond just the past 30 years. They would come back and forth to us and kill even those who survived. We warned them long ago, and we are going to warn them again today. Deputy spokesperson of the government of Rwanda, Mukurarinda, stated that Rwanda cannot relate Belgium's actions regarding the insecurity in the Eastern DRC. Belgium has consistently demonstrated the behaviors I mentioned earlier, doing everything possible to destabilize Rwanda. They have made great efforts to hinder Rwanda's progress, mobilizing support to impose sanctions and persuading various countries and international organizations to act against Rwanda. They have even lobbied major economies, whether those that provide loans to Rwanda or those with partnerships, to block Rwanda's development and impose severe sanctions. Beyond that, Belgium has gone as far as undermining Rwanda in its own assemblies and on international platforms. This has been widely discussed for a long time. It raises the question, how can a country claim to have diplomatic relations with another, while at the same time speaking ill of it in other nations and international organizations to push for sanctions? What kind of relationship is that? The Minister of National Unity and Civic Engagement, Dr. Jean Damascene Bizimana, emphasized that Belgium must acknowledge its role in the 1994 genocide against Tutsi. Belgium should be humble, acknowledge the truth, and understand that it is the root cause of many Rwanda's problems. To begin with, in 1946, Belgium signed an agreement with the United Nations to help Rwanda achieve independence, promote good governance, uphold human rights, and ensure inclusive and equality education. However, they failed to fulfill those commitments. Instead, they introduced ethnic discrimination in Rwanda. Furthermore, when Habyarimana became president, replacing Kayibanda, Belgium continued to support him and even helped him to establish laws that deepened divisions. The Belgians played a key role in drafting the 1978 constitution, providing Habyarimana with two advisors, Philippe Legens and René de Wolf, who assisted in writing it. This constitution reinforced ethnic discrimination in favor of the Palmaito ideology. It also emphasized the so-called revolutions of the 1959 and Habyarimana's takeover, framing them as cultural reforms that should be enriched in Rwanda's history and legal framework. Additionally, the constitution contains several provisions stating that a Rwandan refugee who had fled abroad will be subject to laws established by Rwanda. A law enacted on February 26, 1966, declared that refugees living outside Rwanda, as well as those who were put to areas like Bugesera and Rukumberi, had no right to return to their original homes or reclaim their properties. It also denied their relatives who remained in Rwanda any right to demand those properties. At the time, Kayibanda reinforced this injustice by enacting measures that prohibited lawyers from handling cases related to refugees or their families seeking to reclaim their land and possessions. This level of injustice was enshrined in a constitution drafted by Belgians and advisors and lawyers working for Habyarimana, who in return was financially supported by Belgium. The deputy spokesperson of the government of Rwanda, Mukurarinda, urged Rwandans to understand and support the decisions being made by the government, emphasizing that these actions are in their best interest.
Icyo umuntu yabwira abanyarwanda ni ukubanza nabo kugerageza kumva aho icyemezo gishingiye.
What we can tell Rwandans is that they should understand the basis of this decision and the reasons behind it. We wouldn't say it is easy to receive and accept, because one might ask themselves, what should I prioritize? Should I put forward the sovereignty of the country, its security, and peace? And also we should respect each other as nations without claiming superiority or dominance over others. Rwandans must first understand that if their country has made a certain decision, it is in their best interest and for their honor.
Mu nyungu z'Abanyarwanda ndetse no mu cyubahiro cyabo.
Following this decision, Rwanda has ordered all Belgian diplomats to leave the country within 48 hours, effective immediately. In accordance with the Vienna Convention, Rwanda has assured that it will safeguard the Belgian diplomatic mission's premises as well as its property and archives during this period. Adams Kwizera, RwandaTV News.